A hidden gem. It's fun when you can live in a city for a long time and come across something you'd never seen before. A lot of people have that reaction the first time they step into Wing Haven. It's a garden and bird oasis, a place of beauty and peace, right in the heart of Charlotte's Myers Park neighborhood.
We're constantly getting a lot of people that have lived here that were unaware this was located here.
So you hear that a lot from people saying, I had no idea this was back here.
Yes, very often actually.
And when they come in, what's their reaction to it?
Usually just a lot of smiles and just, really appreciating that they're here and they don't feel like they're in, a city.
That right there is Michael Sheik. He is the garden curator at Wing Haven, a place with a history that goes back nearly 100 years now. It was 1927. Elizabeth and Eddie Clarkson started buying up parcels in that neighborhood. It would end up being 11 pieces of property in all. And over the years, an empty canvas of red clay would be transformed into 3 acres of gardens. The Clarksons loved their plants, and they also loved their birds. Elizabeth would journal about the species she saw, and in 1940, she would found the Mecklenburg Audubon Society. She passed away in 1988, Eddie 5 years later. But their Wing Haven gardens remain, a place for people of all ages to take a respite, to tour, and also to learn. The Clarksons' gift to the community lives on thanks to the work of people like Michael and volunteers like Shelley Bonnet, and we spent time with both of them.
How did you end up volunteering here? What brought you to this beautiful place?
Well, I used to tutor in math in CMS, and when COVID hit, that came to a screeching halt. And so once things kind of settled and things were opening back up, I'm a massive gardener, love to garden, and my kids used to come and do classes here and activities, and I just thought, well, this would be just a beautiful place to come and volunteer.
So you're obviously working and you're doing, pruning and et cetera. Do you take a moment for yourself too, just to stroll through and enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I do. My favorite time of the year here is in the winter when the camellias are all blooming. And I will definitely stroll through and just take numerous pictures of all the blooms. It's lovely. So that's the beauty about this garden is every season there's something really neat to see.
I'm thinking to myself, there's pressure in all of this to make sure everything is growing properly as it should.
Sure.
Do you feel that?
Oh, absolutely. It's not all just fun in the sun or clipping pretty flowers, but yes, there is definitely some pressure to keep things looking nice.
Do you have a favorite part in here?
I probably have a couple. It's kind of like asking a horticulturist if they have one favorite plant. It's usually not just one. It kind of depends on the month or the time of the year. But I will say this time of year I tend to gravitate more towards the shade gardens. But I also like this one because this has fish in it, and then there's another pond in the main garden with a ton of fish and aquatic plants.
You have educational opportunities here, right? You bring kids through those
sorts
of things?
There's programming and educational opportunities for children as well as adults too. Even for adults there can be like bird watching tours or bird classes.
For kids to come through, what do you want them to take away?
Just an appreciation for the garden as a whole, but also an appreciation for birds, which is a huge element here, and also just an appreciation for wildlife, from the rabbits or the squirrels, chipmunks, and even the fish.
I'm sure you overhear conversations, people walking through. What kinds of things do you notice people saying about this place?
Just kind of like, I can't believe this is so big, because it's really massive. She designed it as like a garden of paths, and you can just keep going and going, and I think people are amazed at, when you look at it from the front, you can't tell all this is back here.
As a community resource, why do you think this is so important to have this here?
Well, so many people, like at Uptown, they don't have a yard, and so many people are moving to condos and townhouses, and they just don't really have nature to come to. I mean, we have parks and things, but this is shady and just lovely with animals. In fact, 2 weeks ago, at the herb garden, we had a baby raccoon climbing up the tree. I mean, you just don't see that in Uptown Charlotte, So it's just nice to have a place to come to that you can just relax and just listen to the birds.
I think it's a good escape from a lot of people's just regular rat race in life or their heavy work schedule. So it's a nice escape. It's a bit of a sanctuary, not only for wildlife, but also for people that live here and also tourists as well.